6, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. I need food for the kids, money for the rent. Fuck a lockdown, baby, I can't do that shit. And I don't never vote, cause I'm fucking broke. And either way, I know the police ain't gon' leave me alone. On a plane by to visit Glen Rock, need crypto, told me I should bring the Glock with me. So I packed up my piece and I'm sliding. Cause we might get caught up in a riot. Middle finger Trump, middle finger Biden. Fuck a left, fuck a right, is you riding? Know you love to see it, dudes rocking. Ain't no politics, baby, we just talking. From the birds to the bricks, we be in the mix with that rare candy paint job on the whip. Who you with?
We have an action-packed show. If you like crying libtards, you're going to see them. It's not either of us, by the way. It's not either of us. I mean, we're not the crying libtards.
I mean, there's video of that, but no, just kidding.
Yeah, we're on the steps of the Capitol, 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speed of Sound tour. That was me.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was there. Yeah, this is kind of nuts too. I did see this thing go viral. I really like when Target clothes go viral. I don't know. It's just kind of interesting to me when like Target starts selling something, and I'm pretty sure like they make it go viral. Like they're like, nobody's buying this shit anymore. Like nobody's buying our like The Doors shirt, at Target, and the Jim Morrison and Kermit the Frog shirt that we sell at Target anymore. So they had I'm assuming this is Target because it just looks like Target. Could be Kohl's, could be any number of stores. But have you seen this shirt? It's a woman. I'm not going to call her a plus size model, but I think this factors in here, and it says dump him on the shirt, on the sweatshirt. It just says dump him.
It looks like a Christmas sweater too. That's the one.
It's very much like a Christmas sweater. And the thing to me is, do you get the idea? There's no him.
Yeah, I don't. It's not bad. She's not. Plus.
No. I'm not saying not her. I just mean the average customer that. No, she obviously gets some, but like I don't even think she. They might have photoshopped that on her.
Yeah,
like might have had the Jim Morrison Kermit the Frog shirt before that.
Yeah.
But the average woman that buys that, do you get the idea that they didn't just get broken up with? That they're just like making a comment. They're lobbing a certain tone to an amorphous blob of woman thoughts.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of like the the bad advice thing, or someone who's not you don't want to emulate in real life is giving you the advice, like the standard, across the board advice, and then you wake up 5 years later and you're like, wait, holy shit, like because I mean it's like 10% of people or women will follow that advice, if they see a Target that's kind of like it's mimetic, it's a mimetic. So yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, because like they're
can we get our version of that? Can we get our version?
I would love that. But there's a one prant would be my sweatshirt. Yeah, but the person,
or dump them. Can we
dump them? Dump they them?
Either they them, or it's like a polycule and it's multiple.
Yeah, dump multiple they thems. Yeah, and but I was thinking too, like, because there's always, I'm not saying this is like some new energy that women have. They've always kind of like their version of they have like two versions of like female fantasy.
Yeah.
In terms of like what the content they seek out a lot of times, and I'm just talking about the average woman. The RC listening women, just plug your ears. This has nothing to do with you. You are obviously a rarefied breed, rarefied broad. But the
fan account.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out. It's actually a real woman. I found out. Shout out.
I'm not buying it. You say, if you
I
say
am.
so, dude.
I am. So when the fan account posts who's your favorite, now you know.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any of the posts. I haven't seen it. I never lurk that stuff. But anyways, what I mean is like there's two female there's like dumb bimbo Barbie girl, right? Like just riding around in like a convertible, just like on the cell phone, shopping bags everywhere, and just like guys are calling me all the time, and I'll pick one, and like there's kind of that, and then you have the sad girl who hates all men and is like thrashing like sweatpants in the apartment. Like, I am sick of men.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that they like seek out. Actively in media, kind of always been the case in a way. But I feel like there was actual real life movement on that front. Like life was imitating art a little bit at times. Like, okay, let's play in the 90s. Who was like the big girl album of the 90s? Alanis Morissette, right? Would have been like the big one. It's like rain, you know, like that girl obviously touched a nerve where it was like, but women were thinking about like a certain guy a lot of times. I think right now they're making up a guy, because I just see no movement on the Zoomer dating front whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like it's all like a facade, you know. It's very, it's not. Yeah, the movement. I like that word. No, there's no movement on the front. Yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting. It's such a weird LARP if we're to trust the data. You know, it's just weird that people talk about it more. Like our like parents and grandparents were going crazy, dude. But you don't even hear. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Like that's why they probably were so freaked. They probably like overcorrected, you know, in terms of parenting and shit. That's probably why I don't know. Who knows?
Well, they're also like, you don't have as much money and as many properties as me, so you can't be acting like that.
Exactly. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I do think in terms of general, like the gender divide, like the gender war stuff, is if there is like a generalization that I think is more toxic and evil than the rest, it's probably that one where random guys have an idea about quote unquote women and vice versa. Women have ideas about men, and look, we horse around, we clown, a lot. But I do. So whenever you hear someone talk about like in just these sweeping terms in that sense, you know, it's kind of, I don't know. I do think that's like a big law of attraction thing where you're gonna get the type that you know focus on the most, especially negatively, and you kind of. You just got to be careful with that stuff. And that's not, you don't have to be, especially if you're a guy, you don't have to be like a retard and, you know, and believe every cultural, you know what I mean? You can still like, you know, tie up your camel, so to speak, tie up your camel. And same thing if you're, you know, if your girl don't like, I just wish, you know, like when it comes to women, there's no like mechanism for, it seems they keep making the same mistakes with like the same dudes and they keep complaining about it. And there's no like mechanism for like with men, it's like you can find your little communities like, all right, bro, here's how you talk to a girl. Here's how you get over a breakup and stuff. With women, it's like they keep like making the same mistake and there's no mechanism for them to, it's always just like the same.
Here's how you get the alcoholic chef to stay with you.
Yeah, and that's what
they're
like,
doing. Yeah,
like so many of the problems, it's like it's intra-competitional, you know. It's like, that's a whole other topic. And the other thing is like it's very, man, it's like, can't you guys help each other out or like mentor the younger ones? So you know, again, that you guys are the ones that are saying this is such a big deal with all these you know horrible guys out there and stuff, you know. So what's the rub? You know, I don't know. It's just, that's my one critique of that, where there's no.
And also, what if your mom, like if you're a woman, what if your mom, let's say you're a 25-year-old woman right now.
Yeah.
What if your mom for Christmas bought you the dump him sweater? Like, and that was your politics. Like that was like, you're like, yes, like fuck men suck. Dump him to you means like Mitch McConnell. You know what I mean? Or like you're Scott Jennings. Like, or just a guy named Scott Jennings, but like also the politician, you know, like just it means, but like, would you actually wear it?
Yeah, and that's good point, you know, and that's
women don't like to wear, like there's some women do, like the Invader Zim like kind of chicks that wear like Invader Zim shirts will wear shit like that, but like the average woman who's like really conscious about like fashion and stuff is going to be like, look, I agree, but that shit looks like shit.
Yeah, I think it ties into like everyone's talking about now how all we hear about through, you know, what's that Andrew Tate show, the fucking
don't even
you know what I mean, like that's where there's like radicalization of young men, etc. Which I should have known. I
Netflix on that. I wanted to kill myself.
But, you know, that's like the biggest deal. And I think there are like some straight up spurg ass Zoomers that need to relax a little bit. But no one ever talks about the other side of that, which is and what people, and there's like chart and data nerds, and who knows if you can trust that. And they're always like, no, look at the women. They're kind of going off the rails too. And you're not like,
have you ever met a femcell? They are nuts. Like, you're just like, man, it's yo, lady, like lady, you have the keys to all of this.
It's, I'm saying, it's like, don't squander the power. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Dude. It's like, I think that's what a lot of this resentment is. It's just this weird, I don't know, man. It's crazy. And I'm not like psycho red pill at all, really. I'm just, I'm like, I mean, look at both of us. We're both like happily married. And yes. Great. Like, it's incredible, so it's, and you, by the way, you should, like, I don't know, do you or whatever, but your wife should be that for you, is like the quell, sure. Like, should be the least retarded woman in your life, and it's like, yeah, and the better half,
yes, that's a great quote. That would be a good Target shirt. Your wife should be the least retarded woman in your life.
Yeah, that's my.
I like that.
Stamp it, dude. Yeah, exactly.
It's a little long for a shirt, but it's
we can shorten it. Yeah.
I like that. I think it's unironically like a very.
But you know what I mean? I don't know, man. It's just so crazy, and part of that is just so when you're on the battlefield of love in your 20s or whatever, you're gonna be, you're gonna have spicy takes on that front. Mm-hmm. It's just interesting, and man, I don't know. It is like everything is so. I'm not really trad at all either, but everything is just so hyper novel, and to the point where it's like there's a certain type of woman that could never. It's like it is like the Scott Jennings thing, which is like, I don't know. That's like a whole thing where it's like you could never. You just get so psyched that you could never admit a dude is right just because he's a dude, which is like equally as bad as whatever the other side of that is. I don't know. It's very.
That's why I like Land. That's why I like Landman. Landman. People
because Billy Bob's just shutting them down, dude.
All of them. Every guy in it the whole time. Like it's like so. Billy Bob, like Landman, it's season 2. People react to the wrong stuff. There's this non-binary aspect of it that
I saw that clip of the dorm
literally
room.
Nothing. Literally nothing. Yeah. That is a nothing aspect of it.
Which is funny. I love it. It's like, like the godless pagan religion. He's like, no, like I just told you 5 seconds ago. And it was a funny
at
clip.
Texas Christian University, by the way,
which is not inaccurate whatsoever. Like,
what the spoiler to that is? That the FTM. Or whatever that is, works at is a
Target.
trainer.
They sell sweaters at Target.
No, a trainer for the TCU football team and cheerleading staff. Which the blonde girl Ainsley is on this show. It's absurd. I love every minute of it. But like,
it's like it's like running backs coach for TCU. All right, like see the C gap here. If we,
I mean, if we kind of that one for the Commanders, like isn't there that one? Like, but I mean, there kind of is that one that looks like Manny Fresh.
The TCU run game is sick this year. What changed, dude? What? TCU is just like 140 yards a game. What the fuck, dude?
I know. They win a game, and then it's like, well, the coach took the shirt off. Look at those scars.
Yeah.
But
it's like the sweater on the sideline. You know how they wear different colored sweaters? Like they'll have like the Indiana bright pink and the Indiana green for the signal calling.
Yes.
The dumb sweater.
Well, but about that show, there's every woman is like, there's like a bunch of women who are like well-meaning and stuff, but like they'll be like, that's it. I don't need any help. Like I got it. And it's very dad core. It's very like, my daughter thinks she knows everything in the world. And then it turns out she doesn't. And then it's dad, like that. And it's very true.
Boomers raise their daughters that way. Boomers raise their daughters like dudes. They're like, they kind of did. Some of them, most of them. I think, and then there's a lawyer woman who is like, she's like, I'm from Northwestern University. The very famous viral clip of Landman season 1 is when Billy Bob's explaining oil to her, like, because she's like a climate change libtard that like wants to be a lawyer. Truck parts and shit.
He's like, that lipstick you put on, that's all petroleum. Yeah. She's like, what do you think? Like, look at the way you live. Like,
which, by the way, you shouldn't use petroleum products in your body. So, come on, Billy Bob. Like, we're going natural now. I get the grander point. That
definitely checks out. I think Billy Bob's very conscious about that stuff.
Yeah.
The guy looks like petroleum. And but he's petroleum in a Stetson hat is basically, but the show is this woman is just like this and that, and she's like, I'm a shark in the room. I'm a shark. Like I just, I eat men up. And then after a while, she fucks somebody at the company. Right? She fucks somebody at the company and like she's like, fuck all these waivers I have to sign. And then Billy Bob's like, well, I work you like 80 hours a week. Who else are you gonna fuck? and then she's like, oh, you're right. And then she like totally submits to him basically, and everything's great. It's like, this is great. Like it's like, and it's like, yeah, it's an absurd show. And what's really funny is like, you know, what it's like people do with like Mel Gibson Apocalypto. They're like, that's not accurate. And then you're just like, well, do it for Dear White People then. Like do that, put that under the mic. No, but they won't do it for Stranger Things. They won't. That there's
they take the one actually accurate movie and they freak out about the minutia.
Even like then, or even like even if it's like obviously it's a dramatized like soapy kind of like show, and you know like of course a lot of the show is just like, my God, Billy, your daughter's pussy. It's in the room with us right now, and I don't think I can concentrate on my room. Like, well, why don't you just try to get your shit together, and we got to get some leases signed.
She got the petroleum pussy.
She got her daughter. Your daughter keeps doing calf raises, and her pussy's in my face. He's like, well, God damn it, don't look at her pussy then. I'll be right there. And then like something crazy, the oil derrick exploded. God damn it! Like, and then he runs away. Like it's like that's the whole show. But it's great every single time.
I need to watch it. It's been on my list for sure.
I love it. I
just hate when you know shit about a thing before you
don't know anything about it though.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what I mean though.
But you don't. Yeah. And I'm telling you right now, I know what everyone talks about it. Nobody just watched. Season 2 is a lot of filler. It ended fantastically. They've set up season 3 great. Season 1 is fantastic.
Land them.
Land them. But it's people like what I mean is everybody loves to do this whole thing where it's like there's just garbage on Netflix constantly, and everyone just goes, well, that's what people are watching these days. But then if there's anything mildly right wing that happens to like, this is not how the world works. Pause 1 second. Oil expert here. Libtard oil expert here, and it's just like, hello,
that's the thing. Oil guy. Why wasn't there more? I always wondered that because I've been around like artistic communities and stuff at various points in my, and I wondered why there was such a lack of critique of like the Netflixization of everything when it was so clearly dog shit. And I was like, even if you're like politically on that side of whoever's doing that, you could be like, all right, but this sucks ass though. And like none of them are ever capable of doing that. It's kind of funny. But then like a actually critically lauded show like this comes out and people hate it because it got its flowers. Like whereas like Stranger Things, like wasn't there like an 8-minute video of a guy saying he's gay? Like that's I haven't watched the season. I checked out a long time ago. I remember. I just heard that. I'm like, this is weird. Like I've only seen clips and it's I think Stranger Things is like there's like a slop entropy that like that's the show was kind of sick in the first season.
I like the first season.
It was like MK Ultra CIA shit and everything.
It just worked. Yeah, it just worked.
You look at the last season. There's like a 2026 gay monologue, and like it's just slop. It's just pure, from the clips I've seen, and it's very, and it's just funny. I mean, yeah. It's great. I don't know, man. It's just entropy, I feel.
And Dad, how like George Michael's in Wham and like he wears girls' clothes, but you assume he dates women, but like I'm like that because I'm gay.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just like it's like every like very referential, like deep fried aspect of Stranger
What about
Things
the hockey show? Everyone's loving. I've been hearing the gay hockey couple.
Oh no,
heated rivalry. Dude, people in my real life out here in like Portland, people like love this show. It's about two hockey rivals that are secret gay lovers. Yeah, it's huge, dude.
Broke Stick Mountain, Brokeback Ice Rink.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. It's like a huge show, and people are. I don't know, man. It just it's funny.
Doesn't sound fun.
No, I mean, well, it's just even aside from the premise, like it just doesn't seem like that creative of an idea. Yeah. And like I don't know, I haven't watched it either, but it's just funny how, dude, it's literally just like jangling keys in front of people. I feel at this point.
Can you imagine if Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were fucking each other? I mean, Magic did have HIV, so I guess it's not that hard to believe. But the like that, can you imagine that? Like right now, it's like Pedro Martinez and Derek Jeter. They meet up every every Saturday night.
Yeah.
They take the train and they meet halfway in like Connecticut.
Yeah.
And then they just fuck in some colonial house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, Netflix
crazy.
is cooking that up right now. Is that on Netflix? What's that on? That show
I
you
don't
were
know.
talking
That's a
about?
good question. Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
it's Netflix, but I don't know. It's all very
NHL Network. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Dude. Yeah.
It's just some
Would be
Canadian
sick
guy.
is that thing. It'd be cool. What if they had that premise, but they had legit, like, maybe they do. I don't know, like Shark Scully fight scene, like what we saw this weekend. That'd be fucking sick. You know, if you had enough of that to like offset it, that'd be cool.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm gonna skip that show. But I
don't know what to tell you.
I have too much Taylor Sheridan to watch right now. I just got too much Taylor Sheridan shows to watch. We forgot to play this clip last time of the of Portland, the Portland police guy. It's out of control. And this is regarding Tren de Agua, which I'm sorry, the gang sounds almost like TDS. He says TDA, it almost is TDS. The gang, but this is out of control. So let's check this out.
Can say is there is an association with the two folks yesterday and TDA. I hesitated to even share this information initially because I'm very aware of the historic injustice of victim blaming, oftentimes portrayed by law enforcement, including this very agency that I've represented so proudly for so many years. And historically, we have not been quick to disclose the potential criminal history of others. But I felt it was imperative because I was asked yesterday in the news conference what information we have. This is information we have. This in no way draws a through line to the actions or the behaviors that occurred yesterday. I want to speak for just a moment specifically to my Latino community.
Shout out. He's crying.
It saddens me that we even have to qualify these remarks, because I understand, or at least have attempted to understand through your voices, your concern, your fear, your anger. This information in no way is meant to disparage or to condone or support or agree with any of the actions that occurred yesterday. But it is important that we stay committed to the rule of law, that we stay committed to the facts, that we stay a trustworthy and legitimate police department for all of Portlanders.
Dude, what in the hell
does that even mean?
First off, they didn't even die, right?
Yeah, and it's like proven gang members.
Proven gang members, and I thought they died. I thought it was like, hey, we had to do what we had to do.
Yeah,
you know, we took them out. Like they were getting. The guys are like, gracias, amigo. You know, like what the fuck? Like it was just like what the like they didn't die.
Dude,
First off, cops, I think there should be a no cry test for cops.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the only time you should be allowed to cry is if bagpipes are playing and you're putting the American flag over someone's coffin.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Like, gonna cry? First off, that would be my tactic. I'd be like, "Hey, I'm about to go commit a crime. Let me go watch Steel Magnolias with this fucking cop.
This is
Let me go watch The Notebook with this cop real fast."
That's like the part of the police test. It's fucking over, dude. It's such a ridiculous town, dude. It's it's insane because first of all, that means people are complaining about the optics of arresting legitimately known gang members and how I can tell you no normal Latino people in Portland care that a gang member's got arrested, dude. Like no one gives a fuck. It's crazy. This reminds me of like when we were talking about like Reed College when they had, and this is the other thing is like Portland Police Department clashes with like ICE or whatever for what it's worth. You know, it's a huge battle and like Portland's, I don't know, ostensibly on the side of Antifa or whatever. You know, who even fucking knows? I don't like follow that shit. But when the Reed College student threw like a sizable rock at the head of one of the ICE agents. And then one of the like a Reed College janitor reported it to the cops, and then Reed fired the janitor.
Damn.
Where this reminds me of that, where they're like, no, we can't, point any fingers here at anyone, and it's, dude, it's so fucking strange. Yeah, dude,
that's
I don't
funny.
care. Like, I don't care how woke you are. Like, we don't need this from the cops, dude. Like, straight up, the cops. That's not the cops' job. Like, straight up, you arrest the gang members. It's fine. I don't know, dude. It's crazy, dude. I don't know.
Was like what and
But why are you crying, dude? Like what like what?
also like does anybody so like it almost felt like this is the problem with this. It almost felt like he was writing that speech because he had said like, and I understand, actually I attempt to understand, because he's like waiting for like the defund the police Antifa person to go, you don't understand, as a white man crying right now, you don't understand, like he's like, he has that person this close to his face right now as he's speaking, which is kind of one of the problems of really anybody trying to do a job at this point, is you have that person in the room with you, whether you're trying to actively disagree with them, whether you have them right here. I mean, that's why I've always said, try to disregard those people, try to talk about them like they don't exist, just roll the clock back 15 years and pretend those people didn't exist, but he has that person right next to him, and he's trying to please them, unfortunately. But do you think that person's going to be like, cool, I love cops now?
No, yeah, that's the thing.
They're like, actually, all cops are bastards and you should die, you fucking weirdo. And it's like, so you pleased nobody, like, with that speech.
Yeah, well, Portland people don't want to be pleased ever, too, is the thing. It's very, there's no way.
They want to be weird. They want to be weird, right?
There's no, dude, and it's crazy. Like, they just don't, Portland, they don't do traffic violations anymore. Like, there's literally like none. There's no,
don't tell me that
fucking, you know what I mean? And it's like, which is kind of sick, because when you're driving in Portland, you're never getting a ticket, which is kind of but it also makes it to where like kind of dangerous,
yeah,
so it's like a little double-edged sword right there.
I'm big time Law and Order on the road. I'm big time Law and Order,
dude. I know people. I worked with this guy, really cool guy, who's by no means like an RC kind of well, maybe he kind of is. He doesn't listen to our show or whatever, but he was by no means like heterodox.
Sounds like a loser.
Dissident, yeah, exactly. But he was talking. He's like, he would just come up to me and be like, dude, I fucking hate the Portland police. So I was like, there's this like guy like running through my yard, and I'm just trying to like tan in my front yard, just living in Portland, and like he's being chased by the cops, and the cops are like, come on, Reynolds, like, we know, come on, like, just like trying to like talk. And this guy's
like it's like Leave It to Beaver, where there's one criminal in the town.
Yeah, no, and it's like, they all know him by name, and they can't do anything about it, and they're all just like, come on, please stop running away from it, please just. And he's like, he's just like a little gremlin dude, just like, and so my friend, my coworker is like, dude, what the fuck is happening? And he's just like, what is going on in this town? It's like, yeah. He also said like, when he went to, he's like took a day trip to Seattle and ate a couple restaurants up there, and he was like, dude, like the waiters and waitresses up there like are actually nice to you.
Yeah,
and down here, like they'll actually like give you service, and like this is Portland compared to Seattle. This is not like Portland compared to like Dallas or something. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is a uniquely funny and retarded town, dude. It is absolutely insane.
What? Yeah, Seattle's interesting, because I know Portland has become the kind of meme of the last 10 years town, but like everything I hear about Seattle is it's just as bad, if not worse, in terms of
Seattle's way less crusty, way less.
Yeah. I don't
like
think
they do have like
you don't
Portland,
get juice. You don't get juice for the squeeze the way I think
the
you
crust.
get in
Yeah,
Portland.
the crustiest street in Seattle is like all of Portland, basically. And
got it.
And there's like Seattle is just like, obviously there are tons of tech workers in Portland. Nike and Adidas and all that stuff too, and everything. But Seattle is very like bespectacled, push your, like, it's much more like turtleneck sweater vibe, and it's very with Portland. If you're like, if you're making, like $250K a year as a project manager or something, you are like expected to be 100% cool with like the crust punks and the Antifa and
Right.
shit like that, right? There's no, whereas Seattle, you're more like insulated from that, I feel, you know, and there's, you know, you got the sports teams, you got the downtown is way sicker, you know, there's, yeah, I mean, they're both pretty insufferable to be sure. And I feel like I don't know, Portland, but the other side of that is Portland has more of a chud element. So you'll have like,
that's what I was
you'll have like 5% of like a MAGA flag truck guy, you know, who's like literally like, you know, rolling dual exhausts, you know, Ford F-350 kind of, you know, and which is funny because it allows for some very funny interactions. And
Next Door app goes nuts over those guys.
Yeah, for sure. But no, Portland has like a secretly based arc that Seattle doesn't really have as much, you know, and it's very, Seattle's like way more, you know, it's like Bill Gates, Microsoft,
right?
You know, it's way more technocratic and weird and shit. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Silicon Valley and Portland combined. Probably.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that sounds horrible. Actually, sounds horrible. But guys, before we it sounds like the worst place on earth. But anyways, guys, before we go on, you guys have constantly probably been asking, like, how is Glenn so smart? Like, how does he say all of these crazy things? Like, how does he think of this stuff? Like, and I wish I could take credit for it, but I'm drinking the Lion's Mane Deer Antler combination right now from Super Feast. As much as I'd love to toot my own horn, you guys know I love to do stuff like that, but it is absolutely the Antler and the Lion's Mane, and you can use promo code RC now at superfeast.com to get 10% off your order. That helps us, and it also helps you. Ask anybody in our Discord, ask anybody you see affiliated with us or anything that's messing with that. Lots of recommendations. You could start with the Mason's mushrooms. You could start with the reishi. You could start with the lion's mane. You could do whatever you want. It works with you. It works with you. Like I said, the way I talk about the deer antler is you feel 19, but you understand that you feel 19. You did when you were 19, you didn't feel 19 because you didn't know what that felt like. You just took that for granted. Now you know. But QR code's on the screen. You guys can go check that out if you're watching on YouTube. But superfeast.com, promo code RC now at checkout for 10% off.
Oh yeah. I just had to check you guys are putting in major work with that.
Putting in major
code.
Work, guys.
I love it. Yeah.
This is a very, very fun venture. So
it is,
but also too, just while we're at it here, guys, if you're not able to throw any money at either at Superfeast, RC, any of us or anything, a couple things you can do is go to our YouTube channel, rcnow.com. What is it? Was it rcnow.org? What's our website? Org. Yeah. rcnow.org. Damn, I should have remembered that. rcnow.org. There's a YouTube tab. Just subscribe to us on YouTube. I don't care if you watch a single second of anything that's on there. I mean, thumbs up the video if you want to go like above and beyond. If you want to get a little extra credit, just do that. And if you want a little extra credit, you're one of my students, one of my favorite students. And but if you guys want to do that, we want to get our YouTube numbers up so we can do RC live and make it fun. And I think that's kind of a goal this year. Also, just wherever you listen, Apple or Spotify, there's a rate and review process. Just go ahead and do that. Just give us 5 stars. Even if you think we're only 4 stars, give us 5 stars on there. And it just kind of it helps us get seen there. So there's many ways to help. And obviously we have the Substack feed on there, which Gain of Fiction's on there and all that stuff. That's at rarecandy.substack.com or just rcnow.org. It all funnels you there. So let's talk about Don Lemon, dude. First off, what about Don Limón?
Don Limón, dude? Yeah,
it'd be sick if he rebranded as Mexican.
That'd be tight.
Remember when he tried to rebrand as anti-woke for a while? It was like a month. And he was like, it was like dude, him and all the ex-CNN guys were like, CNN's just gone off their rocker.
Yeah.
And they all started like Rumble channels and stuff. And then like Don Lemon was just like, yeah, I mean, I just don't think you should be fired for telling a joke that I would have laughed at in the 90s. And then somebody's like, yeah, I think DEI is whack. And he's like,
yeah.
Oh, are you serious, man? First off, I'm a gay black man.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like Tinder buzzers going off all crazy. I'm a gay black man. If you didn't know that, and don't.
Well, I remember. There was that weird where he tried to like inject himself into the Elon sphere for a while, you know, and it was like
a month, dude. It was so.
But I remember all those, and like, you know, we're not huge Elon guys, you and I, but
no.
There were those where he was interviewing him, and it was kind of like a dialogue back and forth. And Don Lemon's like, but I just feel like free speech doesn't mean no limits, right? And Elon's like, are you retarded? Like, are you a retard? Because that's what,
Yeah, it's kind of what it means.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's
I mean,
and it's very and there's all these funny clips where it's just like literally just him saying one thing and Elon going like,
dude,
he's like, I need to get back to work. Like, why are you asking me about free speech? And
I know, and
Yeah,
so now I think he's fully back on the blue pill. It sounds like, because I hadn't paid attention to old Donnie. I think he got Me Too'd. Maybe that was
Don
why
Lemon?
he rebranded. Yeah, I think he got Me Too'd back in the day, like gay Me Too,
Mm.
which I didn't even know that was the thing.
Damn.
I thought that was all guys, so I thought it was just understood.
What kind of square ass gay dude do you have to be to meet?
Did Don? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm
Just
saying.
kidding.
Like
Yeah.
Don Lemon Me Too moment. Like, I thought maybe this is just retcon. Yes. Let's see. He is misogyny. Okay, he's a gay guy, but misogyny at CNN. That's funny. I bet that
He's
was
a
actually
misogynist. Dude.
Yeah, he was massaging women at CNN. I think that's what that means. Malicious text. This is so funny. It says at Variety, Don Lemon's misogyny at CNN exposed. Malicious texts, mocking female coworkers, and diva-like behavior. So a gay guy? He's a gay guy, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Like, this is literally what gay guys do. Like, all the time. This is like
They just want a horse, dude. They just want a horse.
Yeah. He got... so I'm trying to see what even fucking. That's the problem when you read a libtard article. They never tell you what actually happened. They're like, oh, he got Me Too'd, so you should stop listening to him. That's like what they say all the time. But I think some guy was just like, he grabbed my ass or something. Whatever. Either way, now he's full on the ice. Whatever, like kind of like he does live streams, which dude, who's watching the Don Lemon live stream? And this is somebody who has a YouTube channel that I'm asking for support on YouTube. I understand the irony of that. But
he's like famous though. That's the thing. Like he's
Don Limón. He's Don Limón.
Yeah.
And but he's dude, it'd be so funny if he just put a mustache and a sombrero on and called himself Don Limón. If you're gonna, you have to do that. And like he just has his own like fucking beer brand and like tequila brand, like every actor. That'd be so sick. But he so apparently there was a church in Minneapolis, which whatever that means anymore. A church in Minneapolis. They just do bottom surgeries there at this point. I have no idea. But they the church in Minneapolis, and it was found out that the pastor had like signed up for ICE. Again, this is all hearsay. I didn't look that far into it. I'm not going to look.
Yeah, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know why the church was targeted.
This is all hearsay. Like
so it's because of that. Yeah. Okay.
Last week we had spoken on the woman. You know, there were people from Minnesota. They're like, actually, it was this. So I'm sorry if I'm getting this. I'm not like it doesn't really change my take either way. Is what I'm saying. So here's the clip of Don Lemon. It's a little chaotic. The audio might not come through super great, but he's live streaming
chaotic.
like. Yeah, it's chaotic. He was like live streaming and he was doing like the whole like boots on the ground with like the tiny microphone that all the people do now in interviews, the tiny microphone. And he was basically people think he was inciting violence. And I'll talk about the whole inciting violence part after this, but here's the clip.
Beginning of what's going to happen here. When you violate people's due process, when you pull people off the street, you start dragging them and hurting them and not abiding by the Constitution. When you start doing all of that, people get upset and angry. And if you remember what the Civil Rights Movement was about, the Civil Rights Movement was about these very kinds of protests. There's nothing in the Constitution that tells you what time you can protest. You can protest at any time. That's the whole point of it, is to disrupt, it's to make uncomfortable. And that's what they're doing. And that's what I believe when I say everyone has to be willing to sacrifice something. You have to make people uncomfortable in these times. If you see how uncomfortable people uncomfortably.
So, you know, he's saying like it's not.
That's in a
enough.
church during service,
That's
right?
in a church. That with the video, if you guys were just listening on audio, he's live streaming. There's a church right now, and people are like protesting inside the church. The church service is not going to go on. The pastor's working for ICE. So basically, it preys on a lot of what when I say inciting violence, like I don't know what he's inciting there. I'm not gonna, but all I know is that there was legal. As oftentimes with things libtards complain about right now, they did it way worse 5 years ago when pretended they weren't doing it. So the January 6th, they talked about was inciting violence. That's what that was. Inciting violence, people died. Except for the fact that the person that fucking died, they all laugh at. So I don't understand. But either way, like inciting violence, this is every bit of that. So like that's your own standards by your own logic. I hate doing the hypocrisy thing because at the end of the day, you're trying to you're just
Yeah, and
the
and
good
no, and
faith
it's
the good
very
faith's not going to happen. The good faith in return is not going to happen when you do that. So yeah,
no, and I mean, like the tone. He's not just like reporting on this, right?
yeah, exactly.
Which is fair. I mean, if you want to be partisan about it, that's go ahead. But he's saying is like, this is what you got to expect. People have a right to do this. There's no time limit. There's no, and all that. It's like, okay, like church. First of all, isn't like church covered under isn't that part of the First Amendment? Like to, the peaceably
Right.
assemble
freedom
and do,
of assembly, freedom of
and it's kind of like, that's kind of one of the reasons why it was a thing. And the other thing is like, just like, I'm not, this isn't like a legal thing or whatever, but aren't there like kids in church more often than not? Like less likely to be found just on the streets of Minnesota in the snow and shit, right? Where it's kind of like the one photo I saw was like a guy like hiding his kids behind the chairs because and the kids like, fuck, dude, and it's
you should be scared.
So I like the take. I saw the take that like, they started doing churches because it's like way less risky and it's warm and there's no guns and you know what I mean? And it's like that's
Right.
so obvious what's happening.
Well,
here.
and
It's like,
there's only one religion that wouldn't do this.
Yeah.
That's
a good point.
That wouldn't turn up. That wouldn't turn up on you. Go ahead and do that in a mosque. Go ahead and do that in a mosque. Go ahead. And see
where's
what
the
happens. Yeah, no. I mean, and their take is
so,
that and like what I mean is like, go ahead and if you tried to do a demonstration like that in a mosque, Acme fucking Looney Tunes shit happens probably. But
why isn't Don Lemon storming mosques because they don't like gay people?
Exactly, that's what I mean. Like,
what the fuck,
so
dude? Like, it's just like
there's this dumb aspect. Right. So there's clearly they're really good at picking the lowest common denominator like enemy. Like just kind of this like low risk, and then like something crazy does happen, like law enforcement does get involved, and then an incident happens, and then that like activates them. Where it's like what was going to be achieved by that? And let's go back. And I know there's a lot of people that hate this, and I know there's a lot of people, and somebody there's listeners right now that will think I'm making up a guy, but it's true. There are people who are on the left, right, who we know from this show, like people that used to listen to us that kind of like soured on us a little bit, that were like on the left. They were anti-lockdown, anti-vax mandate, stuff like that. But they don't like that maybe we might support, or at least not view this as bad, like what's happening right now. I will say like that these people didn't allow church to happen in 2020, like and in that state. This is not just like, that was another state. This is a Tim Walz COVID snitch line thing. Like this is like the church assembly, the things like that. These people don't allow that stuff to happen. And if you're a person who's like, hey, this is all one big authoritarian thing, like the COVID lockdowns and now the ICE deportations, first off, you're telling me that because you think there's a shred of a chance I might buy it. And nobody else on the left does, by the way. Nobody else sees those as conjoined things.
That's a good point.
You're telling me that because you think there's this much of a chance that I might go, you're right. Like because of my principles, right? Like there's other people that'll say, like, if you were to say to a leftist who was all about like put the vax in their food, whatever you can do, we're in a freaking pandemic and stuff, they will see zero correlation between COVID and this right now. And I think it's fine if you do. I mean, in fact, the only correlation was that these people understand the magnitude of their crying and chimping out, and their crying and chimping out does actually. It actually does something, unfortunately.
I just don't, and I fully understand the warning of left-right authoritarian march boots, and like I'm not like a Palantir defender or something or some crazy total security state. Like I don't think that's good and everything. I think there's like nothing we can do. Also,
it already happened. 2020 was the year. 2020,
and it's
and we're past that. So what are you gonna do?
And my whole thing is like, there's that. There's just that, and I do, and I like our last episode. I am critical of like people on the right that are they're just not. They don't have a hint of like any skepticism. I think a little skepticism is warranted on some of this.
Sure,
for sure. And just like. Strategically and not being retarded and stuff, you know what I mean, for your own sake, right, and everything. So I get all that, when it comes to the left and all this, it's just like it's that C.S. Lewis quote about tyrants on like the worst tyrant is the petty tyrant that thinks, and this is I've been thinking about because we usually we rewatch Harry Potter, maybe
Bam.
once a year, once every 2 years, kind of thing, usually around winter, Christmas time, right? And and we just got HBO Max Netflix combo through Verizon, $5 each due to my deal that I negotiated with them. Yes, I'm bringing Verizon up again.
I am Don Limón, and I work for Verizon.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, that's our second sponsor. That's our shadow sponsor is Verizon. That's why they give me my phone service for free. But
that's so true.
But yeah, dude, watching Harry, and this makes me think of the Harry Potter thing where it's like, and I want to write a thing about this, but how, especially once like book 5 hits, it's 100% about retarded liberal authoritarianism and like them controlling the media and lying about you, and like it's so obvious, and it's doubly ironic that all the millennials read that book and they became exactly that. They became the enemies of Harry Potter, not Voldemort, but Professor Umbridge and the Ministry of Magic and shit, like, you know what I mean? Where they, and they it's so funny to me, dude, because it just makes me think of this, where like the C.S. Lewis quote, where it's like if you want a tyrant that's like says, "Hey, I'm a tyrant and I'm doing this," because there'll be eddies and little shadows that you can hide in. Right. You can kind of play the game.
You want disclosure.
Yeah. When it comes to the mob, like this, the whole thing of like, it's like decentralized and distributed and very like USSR, secret police coded, where everyone's like, you can't tell jokes and shit, and you can't. I mean that literally.
You can. Like, there's no law against it, but like we have the numbers to.
Yeah, you tell a joke. No, I don't mean that in like some like Bill Crystal stand-up way, like PC thing. I mean that literally. They used to tell a joke and you would get turned into the secret police the next morning, and
without a law in place, like there's like no law. Yeah. It's literally just it's this artificial market put in place. Well, the market's dictated this. And it's like, no, the market is fake.
And then and then you have people 3, 4, 5 years later pretend like none of this ever happened. And this comes up every once in a while on the internet of people pretending that COVID lockdowns never happened or whatever. Or they quibble over the definition of lockdown. And it's like, shut the fuck up, dude. It is so it's like, yeah, I do not trust you guys. I don't trust. Okay, when I talk, and there's this weird thing. It is political, but it also kind of supersedes that, where I've tried really hard not to be ideologically driven, in any case, where you just try and reason things through on your own and try and be independent and stuff. And there's been times in my life when I'm like telling someone something else and I catch myself and it's like, it's not my own thoughts. And I'm like, oh, I'm like parroting a script here, and I'm doing, and it's a little scary, but you kind of learn from that and you're like, oh, wow. Okay. Like, what do I really think? I might even agree with it, but it needs to be my own agreement. It can't just be like this script I'm playing. I see it more often, and for sure it happens on both sides or whatever, but absolutely on the left, it is the worst with them, where it's like they're saying it to prove it to themselves in their head, to like convince themselves of it,
Yes.
When that's with you see it with the COVID stuff, you see it with the ICE stuff. With this ICE stuff, like I just want to know, like I just want to know, like, again, to what's your policy? Like, what do you want? Like, because you can answer that question without defending ICE, if it's totally a bridge too far, if you're a liberal and you just don't like the methods or whatever. I've been critical of it, in certain strains and respect, but I just want to know, like, what's your solution? Because that seems to be the rub here, is like, obviously the hardcore leftists are complete open, you ask them and they'll be like, well, this is a colonist country, and it's like, it's not really a fucking answer, that's not like a real adult. We're not talking about like blood meridian here. Like, that's not like going to inform 2026's immigration border policy. And you know what I mean? Or like, and the other thing is like, I don't know. It's just funny how, like with Renee Good or any of these things, and you get down to like, okay, who are they actually trying to capture? And I do believe there are some wrongful captures by ICE for sure, like, but it was like, oh, that guy was hiding like 2 child rapist in his garage,
Yeah.
and they were trying to find that guy, and this is who you're protesting on their behalf.
Yeah,
and,
and then to liberals, they view the opening scene of Inglorious Bastards happening.
yes,
Like,
yes,
like,
exactly.
Can I
Yeah.
please have some of your milk, please? Are you
Yeah.
hiding child pedophiles under your floor,
Dude,
You
I'm
know, like it's just like
so that's
it's like
why-
yo, like
and there's
first
this,
off,
like,
these are people I think James Franco can never work again in Hollywood. And I'm like, they're like, yo, James Franco at that art exhibit, death
Yeah.
penalty, and you're just,
Dude,
like,
it's so funny, man.
nuts.
Yeah.
And like there's all this like. What I mean is like they expect people like us, right, to be more principled and be like, well, that could happen to you for like wrong speech or something like that. You're setting a precedent. I'm like, but you never tell the people you're actually siding with that.
Yeah.
Ever. They never do. They never tell an MSNBC Democrat, a Chapo leftist, any of these people. They never tell them though, hey, this might be used against you. They don't.
Yeah.
And guess what? That person's going to throw that out the window. They don't care. It's the Jimmy Butler gif with the fucking paper. They don't care.
It's very.
They're not even going to remember that this happened.
They don't. Yeah, they don't. And I just don't understand like you can't model a reason why someone would care, even if you don't care, even if you're like total nihilistic, you know, dirtbag, whatever. You can't model a reason why some people would just want to have some kind of order with all this and some kind of like process and some kind of, you know, and I don't know, man, it's just kind of crazy. And the church thing, I mean, it's crazy, dude. Like the church, it's so funny, like how I know people in Portland that are just like, you know, like, oh, super evangelical white Christian nation, blah, blah. Of course, they're all white, everyone who says this, you know, and everything. And it's like, bro, first of all, like most of those churches are like, there's like a lot of non-white people, first of all. And second of all, they're calm and they go to church and they have jobs and families and they go home and they don't commit crime for the vast majority of them.
Yeah.
And you're in here like storming, you know, is it within your right to storm a church? Like arguably no, but I mean, you could be outside of it and but that'd be fucking retarded. Still, you'd still be a retard. And it's just like, what are we doing here? I do like it's funny that there's like an ICE pastor. It's kind of a funny because he's just, you know, he's just on the laptop like ICE recruiting. He's on like DuckDuckGo or something. And
exactly. Well,
but it's crazy, dude. And the other thing I've been seeing is like the whole car thing. Like it'll be like, yeah, we clocked that minivan. That's an ICE minivan. And the guy's like, I'm literally like trying to pick my kids up from school. I'm not ICE. And they're like, prove it, you know. And it's just that's a
papers,
whole thing.
Please. Yeah,
it's very, you know, it's becoming very, very gay. Who could have predicted that? A Minnesota protest scuffle turning blame. Wow, you know, it's I don't know, man. It's very like it's starting to. Again, a lot of normies didn't like the Renee Good shooting. I don't blame them, whatever. But it's starting to like cross that threshold where it's
the
like
theater line. The
line.
theatrical line, which like to us, I think our threshold for that's much lower
for sure.
But for like the average normie, like they're like, wait, the church, what are you doing? You know,
what are you doing, dude?
And also, I will say, I know it's pandemonium right now. I know that there's like a media blitzkrieg on like showing you why this is like this is the world. We're in the 60s again. It's 1968, 1969 all the time in our country. And it's very beneficial. It's the Michael Crichton state of fear model. That's how you get bad legislation 100%. Passed. But what I will say is, man, you still cannot replace what 2020 Summer Floyd protest was. I don't think we'll ever eclipse it. No. I really don't, because you had no choice but to look at it. Like,
do you remember the restaurant? Remember the restaurants, like going up to diners.
No, but like you were kind of clockworked orange almost. Like, even if you were like into baking sourdough bread, into like even if you use COVID for like a good time to like we did, like it's still at the end of the day, it finds you. Like it finds you because there's just not that much happening.
Because we all had it was 100%
family,
moment, phones, family, like it couldn't have, like that was our original RC take, because none of this could have happened without phones. You know,
COVID happened because it could have. Like that's like what people don't realize that. Like, and I don't mean the virus itself, because you know,
Yeah.
like there's so much more going on now than the virus. I just mean COVID could not have happened in 1972. It couldn't have.
No.
Like it couldn't have, because people wouldn't stay in their house for that long. Remote jobs that wouldn't work that way, and you didn't have DoorDash available. And it's just like all of the, and you know, the remote learning, like all of these things, like it happened at the exact time that it could have happened, which should speak to the fake quality of it all, in my opinion. Like you know, if this thing's gonna get deployed at some point, like it would definitely be. I don't think they'd be like, okay, the infrastructure's perfect. Oops, accident. You know what I mean? Like I don't think, you know, I'm probably speaking a little generally, and there's probably people that disagree with that, but that couldn't have happened. But I just remember right now, there's still kind of like like people can like watch this tangentially and be like, oh, Minnesota again, huh? Like people can do that. But in like 2020, it was just like, whether you were for or against it, like it was just, you were looking at it and you were just like, this is the only thing happening right now.
Yeah.
This is the only thing. I mean, we had The Last Dance with Michael Jordan documentary. We had Tiger King. And we had cities burning down. Those were the three things happening in the world. And you were getting fat. You were developing alcoholism, or you were starting a cool podcast. Well, but there's a lot of that happening. Like, and what I mean is, like, unfortunately, like if you did use COVID to like better yourself, it still was pretty tough to not pay attention to any of this stuff, or at least not rush to any judgment to mold your politics, to mold your ideology to fit the current thing. Like that's still so hard not to do. You have to actively tell yourself not to. It's myself included. Like you have to do that. And that's what 2020 changed about everything more than anything it's ever been. Like you had to buy it. You had to like seek out the Oscar Grant stuff, like Trayvon Martin. Like you had to actively like be around people that were talking about that. Like there would be people that just didn't. You learned about that in 2020. A lot of people learned what that was in 2020 because it was this name, say his name, say his name, say her name, say their name, say all of these things, and it all came to a head in 2020. But there was no opting out of that, and I still see there's a way to opt out now, but it's still kind of kosher to partake in it, you know. Like you see more and more people like, I have to weigh in on this, like and not even like, what I mean is people who aren't in media, it's just people who were like to work at fucking, you know, Jimmy John's or something. Like they have to have an opinion about it, or else because people have been taught that no opinion means you disagree with me, and if you disagree with me, you're a Nazi.
Good point. It's just it's becoming to where it's almost like I could see a fashionable trend, and I know we have like a show on this, but like whenever I'm in unless it's like someone I trust or whatever, I'm just like,
never.
I didn't hear about that, or I didn't, you know, and it's because it's just no point in, you know, and I'm trying to de-escalate. I think we need more. I think we need to return, you know, to the times when it was taboo to talk about this shit. It's just, you know what I mean? It's so much better.
Right.
I mean, think about what, like, I don't know, man. I'm not trying. If there's an issue near and dear to your heart, I would never begrudge you for wanting to bring awareness to it or whatever. But man, can we say our lives are better now that everyone fucking hates each other and families are torn apart over this shit because they see it on a 2.5-inch screen in front of your fucking face? Like, can you honestly say that we're fixing problems or that things are better now? Like, no, you know, it's like very, you know, and at the very least, like, just have it not turn into some huge deal in your interpersonal relationships. You know, obviously you don't want to marry someone with the exact opposite politics. You don't want to do that.
No,
you know,
it doesn't work. Yeah.
And it's very, those days are over. You know, I think it's very, like, those days are over. You know, you always hear about that. And that
especially if it's a woman too, by the way. Like, you don't want to marry a woman because they will cave for social norm. I know, I hate to break it to you. I know there's some guys for sure that this falls in, but like women, even if they're like, look, I like that he's different than me, but they're her friend. If she has a friend group, it's over.
Yeah, no, and it's, I don't know, man. It's just very, I think we need, I don't know. I'm just tired of the temperature always being so fucking hot.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
and it's very always, I don't know. It's just, we need to decide. Like, again, when it comes to the immigration thing, have any of them said like, no, we are 100% There's always this weird like rhetorical trick that's like very. Have they just come out and said like we support illegal undocumented
Yeah,
immigration?
that
Do they
I've only
say that?
never as a coalition. I have heard like some really stupid like next door app tier like
Yeah.
45-year-old like woman brain thing going like, look, I don't care. I'd rather live next to an illegal immigrant than a MAGA supporter, like that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
that
that's
kind of thing.
I've seen
But
that.
like,
Yeah.
like that's kind of where they go with it, where it's basically like let them in, kick these people out, which that's not happening. So, but like let them in, let's kick them out or let's lock them up. And it's like, you know, to me, I've never seen because again, I think if you had to say that, and this might be your point here, I think if you had to say we support open borders, that doesn't like. I think a lot of people would sit and go, maybe they eventually support it, but they might go like, wait, what? No, I have like a policy, even if they don't know what it is. Like, but like when you just say things like Black Lives Matter or save democracy or just things like that, it's so abstract. It's so like good team here, good team guy here. Like, obviously, if you disagree with that, there's something really wrong with you, and we're in the Man in the High Castle or whatever series I just finished watching. You know, like this. But if you would like really hammer down on like a policy and say, I am this, a lot of times people like, you'll get a lot of people that go, wait, what? Like, even if like 60% of the people go, yeah, of course I support that, you still lose like a valuable contingent of people who would be these kind of swing voters. Like, I don't think we have swing voters anymore. I think we have swing ideology.
So what's the mechanism then
times
behind, because you see all these videos of every Democrat politician being super harsh pro border enforcement in the 90s and 2000s and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, Obama and everything. So what's the mechanism behind people knowing, and you know, I'll just use this as like a proxy term, but like radical left in terms of like open border policy, you know, like stuff you see on like Ivy League campus rhetoric and everything like that, you know, with what's the mechanism behind people en masse adopting that in a soft way, not really adopting it to where it becomes physical reality, but they ignore that it's happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it's such an interesting process. I don't know. And it's such a weird, of all the radical, it's funny. It's like an entropy thing. Things just settle to their lowest point. Of all the things that leftism could accomplish, you know, maybe like, hey, boosting unions or cutting, you know, being harsher on chemical pollutants, corporations that pollute chemically or whatever. The easiest thing you do is just open the fucking border, right? You know, it doesn't like cost any money. It doesn't do it. You know what I mean? And it's funny how it just settles to like the lowest common denominator, like the most retarded thing you could do if you're, you know, like it.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And it just settles onto that thing. It's so funny, dude. It's
so there's a lot. You said a lot there, and I think there's like 5 different answers to it. I think they all are coming from the same, you know, place from me, but with different emotions behind them. And I think there's like, for one, what you say is like open borders. Like you'll see people who simultaneously have like, no human being is illegal and I want a general strike.
Yes.
And you're like, that's literally your scab labor that you're fighting for.
That's what I'm
for.
dude,
like I'm not even for a general strike right now. I think that just like it's not going to work. But let's say you did. Right. Let's say you did. Like, you would have to have the harshest immigration system ever to like for that to ever work, because they'd be like, cool, we just brought in like 12 million people. So you know, it'll be rough at first, and you know, we'll get some bad like Yelp reviews or anything, but libtards won't do it because they're not allowed to complain about stuff like that. And then we'll just kind of you know, go from there. And to be honest, with the way a lot of stuff is automated now, and a way a lot of people are the way a lot of people are conditioned to just accept less post-COVID from like service and stuff like that, I bet you it would go over a lot more swimmingly than many things. And you know, conversely, you have on like the right, and I don't think it's nearly as bad, not even 10% as bad as what you see from the left, but you do see people who are like, I'm anti-immigration, but I want like an American superpower. Yeah. And you're kind of like, well, by superpower, do you mean dominating global trade? Do you mean this? And like, you have to really define what you mean by superpower, because like, there is that kind of comes with it. I'm not super for it. I'm kind of like,
yeah.
maybe we're not as powerful as like, you know, we need to be, but we're like sound and people are taken care of and we have like a national identity. I'm a little bit more in that thing, which might be as utopian as either of those two things, to be quite honest. I'm not 100% sure that we can do what I'm saying, but it's where I stand. Then to your point of what changed, right? Like the Obama, like Obama and like Clinton, like laughing about deporting people and like it just wasn't a big deal. For one, like it goes to show, I think it's the 2020 effect a little bit where like everybody is politically charged, right? In the 90s, dude, I knew people who wanted Bill Clinton to win that didn't know a fucking thing about Bill Clinton. In the 90s, 2008, I know people that literally voted for Obama because they're like, hey, a black guy's running against a Republican. You know what I mean? And that was like, to the extent of it, that was it, right? After they voted for the guy, they didn't think about politics until 2012. Right.
Yeah.
Like they might have caught onto some social justice things, like maybe a few pet issues here and there. Maybe like, oh, police shot a guy. Like I'm going to go protest or something. Like there was definitely that. But it wasn't every single day. What are the Republicans doing? What are the Democrats doing? That was a very small portion of people that cared about that stuff. And it was kind of considered like my friend is a politics nerd. That's how you would like refer to my friend that watches C-SPAN or something, which it was boring, right? None of this stuff was packaged in a sensationalized way. It was like C-SPAN. You'd have to watch this shit. You watch like CNN and it would be like Crossfire. That would be like the start of it, was the kind of like Crossfire thing. But to your point though, like first off, I think demographics have changed a little bit. I think that's fair to say. I think you just have I think you have quite a demographic change in terms of like maybe people are just going like, no, I don't support even what Obama said right now.
I thought demographics weren't supposed to change the fabric of our society.
Exactly. So you have that, but then also like I just think people are retarded now. Like that's my most cynical take on it, is people are straight up retarded right now.
They are. No, dude. And I mean that. I agree with that. And I
just cognitive. I don't even mean idea. I just think they're it's very.
No, I know what you mean.
Like they fell into a rat trap. Like they covered themselves in honey and went into a bear's hide. Like
it's crazy, dude. I think it's a mix of. I think it's for sure spike protein. I think it's phones.
A lot of stuff,
dude. It's like you even just driving now. By the way, check your phone. I sent you something. It's pertinent to this episode.
Okay, good. Thank you. I was hoping somebody would help me out with that. Of course, it's somebody on staff.
Yeah. It's ChatGPT, dude. Ask Chat, dude. Ask Chat. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. You guys will see. But no, dude, I was straight up. I think people really lost a gear, dude. Well, some of us gained an extra gear. RC now. Extra code RC now. Yeah, right. You can gain an extra gear by taking the deer.
Yeah, no, you got it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. It's just crazy. It's just I always, and this is kind of a cop out, and this is always my cop out. But I'm just so curious how history is going to treat all this. Like, well,
people would have to have some kind of mass uprising. What if we get dumber?
But I'm like, will history look back and be like, oh, that was the defining? I don't know. Maybe the defining thing was we needed open border. The open borders people were actually good and correct, and and it's just like, man, it's in the 21st century. Why do we need people to move other places so much to get? Shouldn't everywhere have? That's my thing. Is like, shouldn't we all be kind of like brought up to speed with just like the fucking basics now? And I don't mean that like
density. We should have got rid of density.
Yeah, and I don't even mean that in like a utopian way. Like we're all like in Star Trek, printing our food and shit. I just mean like, why does everyone need to be here? And conversely, like why can't cool shit happen in Venezuela? It's like, it's very, I don't know. It's just very interesting, man. And, and I get there's like the geopolitical angle and everyone, there's all these like chess pieces on the board and stuff, but it's like, man, I just don't think it's sustainable to just have like, you guys want the widest social safety nets possible in open borders. Like, just consider that for a second. Like, at some point you have to be an adult. Like, at some point, I'm like a very pie in the sky, like I'm a dreamer, dude. I'm a John Lennon
Yeah,
dreamer
you
for
may
sure.
say, yeah.
And you know what I mean? I totally understand the dreaming. I'm with the dreaming, but it's like,
Yeah.
bro, like at some point, like what the fuck are we doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like what
Mhm.
you and again, can we blame you if it doesn't work? That's my thing.
Yeah, well, that's the
You know,
thing, but
it's like-
that's kind of the
yeah, it's like-
problem with
Yeah.
these with the like platitude based kind of politics is kind of like, well, I was just the execution of my platitude might have been wrong, right? And also
has
the
never,
opposition.
real X
There's-
has not been tried.
and there's always an opposition, right? So anybody that's opposed to me, that's why it didn't happen, or it took too long, or like remember the big cope of the couple of years ago, maybe even a year ago, I don't know. Time is weird now, but you'd get the people who would go, well, Democrats had a border bill and Trump said no. And it's like, dude, the border bill was trash. Like, it was trash.
That's
that's
retarded.
That's them going. And what have I always said? The Democrats should just change themselves to docucrats. That should just be that's what they should be. Anything they go, well, we made a document, so you can't say anything bad. Yeah. And that's like what a lot of like, especially like the John Grisham, like boomer libs type people that go, it's on a document and you said no. So that means if you don't have a document in return, then, but what I mean is like, they'll say that. So then anything else that happens to go, well, we had a border policy. And it's like, that was trash though.
Yeah.
Like,
also,
why do we need trash?
Why do we even need a policy to not leave it open for 15 to you know, however many million, you know, that's like, why is it even like a thing that changes from year to year? You know, like why is that even like a lever that you can put, you know, like,
well, and like the whole thing with like the secret police thing, it's like, and if anybody just shows you, it's like, hey, didn't you guys arrest a paddle boarder, or did you guys support that? Dude. And I hate they
won't even admit that. They won't
admit that he got arrested. And it's like, yo, he got arrested. Like it was
a picture of him getting arrested.
Adam Carolla was like one of the only people like screaming into the atmosphere about that, like just going like, yo, like they filled up a skate park full of sand.
You arrested a paddleboarder in the bay, Gavin. Gavin, you arrested
dude. If Gavin runs, dude, Carolla's going dumb. Like hey, he's gonna go crazy. And I want him on RC. I would love to have Adam Carolla on RC. But the like putting sand inside skate parks and just all of these things, like they were literally dumping sand inside skate parks. Like it was like the roller coaster tycoon people beat the Tony Hawk Pro Skater people. It was really sad. And I've always hated the roller coaster tycoon stuff.
I'm a tycoon guy.
I know, but that's how it starts. That's how it starts. So, but they always get you. They you know, they always sell you something cool. You know what I mean? Like okay, first off, since you brought it up, the roller coaster tycoon thing. Those people that hate front yards, you sent me that thing. With the people that hate like front yards and like high maintenance houses, and they show these like renderings, and it's all Roller Coaster Tycoon nonsense. So if you think you have autism, do a heavy metal detox before you pick up Roller Coaster Tycoon. And
it's like I took this. The one side effect of this heavy metal detox is I hate this video game now.
Dude, if I saw a kid playing Roller Coaster Tycoon right now, I would, in my head, a whole movie would play in my head of this kid becoming the next Zoran Mondani communist guy, and then I would just cram zeolite into his mouth, and they would arrest me, and that would be the start of the movie, was me getting arrested, and they'd be like, "That guy obviously abused a child. That guy obviously abused a child," and I'd be like, "No, you don't understand." And then it would show like all the evil atrocities this kid was about to commit just from playing Roller Coaster Tycoon. And I'd be like, and I would just be like, I was doing a heavy metal detox on this autistic kid. And so, of course, that's all a joke, guys. I would never do that. Whatever. People get really like, or even our own audience are like, well, I like Roller Coaster Tycoon. I don't care what you do, just don't become a communist. So, but if you're a Roller Coaster Tycoon, like build a fucking sick individual property. But like there's like this lady. There's this of course, she's reacting to this beautiful house, like just like obviously like awesome house that any of us would love. Like it's clear. And she's like, genuinely, what is the appeal of high maintenance homes like this anymore? When modern family life means spending your weekends at kids' sporting events and having a busy event calendar outside of the home. Yeah, modern life dictates that. That hasn't always how life worked, by the way. You would do things like that. And then there's people that are like, what's high maintenance? Like, I mean, obviously there's yard work. I'm seeing lots of yard work, but yard work's great, and yard work keeps you off of the. Yard work is the only way you can actually ignore the current thing, actually. And I will, I'm telling you right now, like if somebody tells you like, hey, did you see that ice thing? You go, my bad, my rose bushes.
That's what I'm saying. the yard work is this post is assuming that yard work is some additional task and not like it's like yard work is like a sauna, dude.
Well,
It's like
her name is Alicia Courtyard Urbanist. So how much yard work has she done in her life?
Courtyard Urbanist. Oh, is this one that posts like 3 children playing in a courtyard of like 700 units and it's like, this is paradise? I think that's
it's this one right here. You see it?
Wait,
yeah, I'm sharing.
Yeah,
it
sorry.
right now.
Yeah, that's
this is her. This is her rendering of Utopian World. So
everyone that wants to live in those should try that.
This is Monopoly.
They should try that.
Tycoon. This is Monopoly. What she's doing, which is funny because they're anti-Monopoly. A lot of these people, but they it's like there's gardens on top of. And if you're on YouTube, you guys can see this. If not, you'll just have to go out by our play-by-play. There's like gardens on top of stuff. By the way, I guess they're just hiring a staff of people that is going to maintain all of this. By the way, and maybe to her that's going to happen. And there's just all these like beautiful. I mean, a lot of it looks really nice. I mean, I'm not going to say, but we know this isn't what it's going to look like in the middle of a major city because crime and all of that stuff. And so then they show one family. It was really error on her part, to be honest, that she made the family white because it's a white family, like just hanging out by themselves in the courtyard. There's I don't know. It looks like about 250 units in here, but there's only one family playing in the park right now, which everybody else is Somalian people watching the Great British Bake Off. That's what they were there. That's according to her. I think that's a top.
As one does,
as they do. That's as they do. They're all doing that. They're chilling because they had a hard week at work and they don't want to think about yard work. But this beautiful like token-esque it's like Portland. JRR token core, which it does look nice, I will say, but it's just like, yo, lady, if you built like there's this utopian version of the world. Not only will this
first of all, you got like a fucking 80-foot tall conifer inside the courtyard, dude.
Yeah. Plus these people, the only way this gets built is if like Ayn Rand asks like lack of regulations happen, which to be honest, I'm not against those a lot of times. Like when it comes to like building shit, because there's a lot of
people that want it. Yeah,
exactly. So what I mean is like you're like. The reason shit doesn't get built fast a lot of times is one, there's a lot of supplies thing that like it's costs a lot, it's expensive to build. But even when like public money's like coming in, private money's coming in, it's like, oh, did you call the fucking building inspector today? Oh, he'll be here at 3:00. Yeah, he'll be here at 3:00, and then he's like, oh, my bad, you said Thursday? Yeah. Okay, well, don't touch anything. If you even touch a hammer today, we're gonna blow up the building as you have it. We're
gonna set you back.
Wait till Monday. Yeah. Oh shit, Monday's Martin Luther King Day. Oh shit. Okay, I'll be there.
That got me, dude. I went to the post office yesterday. Empty ass parking, dude. What? I was like, come on. Dude.
Yeah. So you have. So what I mean is like you have all this stuff. Like they like okay. And they get mad about like the high trust society thing. Like they go, well, you guys are the ones that want the high trust society. I'm like, dude, you guys don't realize like the high trust society, you punish crime in a high trust society.
I want to live in your utopia where the high trust thing exists, where everyone is on the same page.
I want my own yard, though. I want my own
yard. I don't want the pluribus thing. I don't want the fucking hive mind. I don't. Sorry, dude. It's just I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah, I'm just Roller Coaster Tycoon libtards. Not even once. If anybody starts playing Roller Coaster Tycoon about how to build the perfect city, I look at them and I go, no. Actually, no. Like, as you look at it and you slap their hand away from the computer. No, we're not doing that. Somebody tried to build me a tough shed like that, famously. No.
National Shed Day, dude.
Yeah, National Shed Day. That's on the premium feed last.
By the way, I need to start writing that on the calendar. Okay, let me just Google it real quick. National Shed Day. I need to commit it to memory. The actual day. The calendar day.
Yeah. How are you celebrating? Yeah.
Let's see. Celebrate 2023 is the first one. That'll never start.
Yeah.
Literally started to November 30th.
Rich American tradition. Yeah.
November 30th.
November. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, that timeline does add up. So what I mean is like these people that want to have these high dense cities and all of this this is how they cope with open borders. By the way, this is how they cope with open borders. They go, we'll just build more housing. We'll build up. Look at what China's doing. Oh, do they have open borders? But anyways, look at what China's doing. China's building the highest building with these cool shovels, and there's a guy that can drink a beer with his nose. I don't care. I do not care about China whatsoever.
I don't. What is it? It's like LED lights and coordinated drone shows, and it's like I'm down to give props when I see it, but I've never seen. Again, it's just like
None of you are booking vacations, by the way.
And also, the whole thing is like they build so quickly, but then the buildings crumble, and I don't know, man. It's just very. I'm just not a central plan guy. I'm just not a central plan guy. You know what I mean? It's like
no.
dude, it's just I don't know, man. It's so that was funny. I was thinking about that because I have the bros will know I beat the IRS recently. I beat them at their own game.
Yeah,
and then it brought up his mind. I think it was like fucking Aaron, Aaron Mate, right?
Yes.
And he was like, I think it might have been Dave Smith. I don't know. It was like where he was like, they were having like a debate. I think it was pretty lighthearted. It wasn't like some fight or anything. But he's like, but how could you not like the IRS? And Dave Smith's like, because they go after normal people and make their lives living hell, and they're retarded. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, I don't get why leftists have to. That's the thing with like the central plan stuff. Is that they have to support the current central plan thing, whether it be the IRS or whatever, all these different things. But then they also have to say, well, it's not good, and we would do it better if we had more power. So like that's why they're like against crypto. That's why they're against all this different stuff. Because they don't want anyone having any inkling of decentralization.
Which is also goes into the thinking thing we talked about earlier. Because like not only when you decentralize government, like material government kind of stuff, like you're also decentralizing individual thought as well. Like I'm sorry, you're centralizing it, I should say. Their goal, but they're mad that we would be decentralizing. I said that kind of in reverse, but when you are centralizing like everything, it's like, no, this is not, you don't even have to think about it. Like we're gonna have bidets for all. You'll never have to wipe your ass again. You'll never have to wonder where your next meal comes from. You'll never have to what about crime? There won't be crime because everyone has money. Actually, money doesn't exist, but like, and then it'll be like, all of these things, all these things that they're like, well, nobody actually cares about crime. Crime's a psyop anyways, blah, 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 blah. And then white collar crime is the only kind of crime that exists. And then you'll, but if you're saying like, well, I want to do my own version of that. I want to be a communist with my family, right? Yeah. I want to take the net worth of the family, whatever that number that is, as high or low as that is. And I want to make all of that. So I want to school the children different than what they get, because I don't trust institutions. I'm Tom Morello, man. I don't trust the government, man. I don't like public school. Okay, I guess that's bad. Never mind. And then you if you want to do that, it requires 100% centralized thought for any of this to happen. Like nobody can disagree. Yeah,
it's just very like I have a lot of ideas on how if I was king for a day, I can make the world better. But I you know what? I'm probably right about most of them, honestly, but I don't have the hubris to think that I should be the one to pull that off, and it's like, I think that should happen organically. Whereas these guys, they seem to have this, like, if I think it's good, it is good, and anyone that disagrees with me is a fucking fascist.
And it's abundance too, and it's abundance, right? It's like we have so much, we can build so much, we can do this
abundance, but let's hate capitalism that created more. And I'm not even like there's like that kind of like right wing capital, like Daily Wire, like capitalism. It is true that it lifted more people up than any other system thus far created,
right?
I'm with you.
I'm with you. Right. It's like basically we can hijack the abundance of wealth. We can build a bureaucracy that can never backfire on us, by the way. And then also like we can just build. We can expand. America can become the most dense populated place in the world, and we can just have everybody and everyone will agree, everything, it'll all happen. And if you just tell somebody no, then not only will they call you all sorts of ist terms at the end of it, but they will also say like you're the problem with the world. You are now enemy number one. You, just a guy,
Yeah.
You are public enemy number one. And that's because all thought has to be centralized. And I don't know if we could ever live in like a completely decentralized world. Maybe. I don't know. But I'd like for somewhere in between. I'd like for the option for someone to opt out. I think opting out of that has consequences. And you see a lot of people that tried to do the trad farmer thing like in 2021. They came back to the city, a lot of them. They didn't follow up on a lot of this stuff. It doesn't always work, but I want that option for someone to try. I don't want to tell somebody that you have to participate in my thought experiment, my roller coaster tycoon game, where I build on top of your house, on top of your house. Your house is not your house, actually. And I'm building 6 Park Place hotels on top of it, full of whoever I want to bring into the country.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point.
So that's that world I've already rejected. So I don't view anything as a utopia.
And it's kind of something that you have to grow into. And I think this is why a lot of people leave their path, their ideological like early 20s behind once you start to interact with the real world a little bit more, right? And this is why I think permanently putting people in an academic class is such a fucking disaster for society, where where that's like a viable thing to just make I'm like 30 and I've only been in academia my whole life. It's kind of like, it's kind of a dangerous thing to do.
You have permanently stunted people who then become temporarily embarrassed whatever job they end up at that's not what they were promised. And
it used to work if you were like a hyper nerd, like a fucking theoretical physicist. I think that should exist for those people. Like,
yes, of course.
Some people should be doing theoretical in their head mathematical research. For sure, that should be a thing. But I don't think it should be a thing for like economics, or like fucking,
and a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
I mean, let's be real. Like a lot of people say free college, and to them that means more college.
Yeah.
I'm less college. I'm simply just a less college guy because I just don't think we need to go to college for fucking nonsense. I'm sorry, like you don't need to do that. So that's just for a lot of people. They say they want more. It's the Adam Driver Star Wars meme, just more and more and more. Like if I say more housing, that cannot be bad. If I say more, money to public funds, can't be bad. Well, the organization is going to have a name called like Habitat for Life and Life and Prospering. And so so you have to give them millions of dollars because that's what happens. So it's like, to me, you're dealing with a child when that happens, because a child thinks I should be able to have unlimited fucking Oreos. Some of our listeners who play Roller Coaster Tycoon might agree. You're wrong. Zeolite, Heavy Metal Detox. But like people might say like I should be able to have unlimited Oreos for dinner and only chicken and no vegetables. Right? Like I should be able to do it. You can. There is a consequence though, and it's nobody's fault but yours. Yeah.
It is funny how the ARFID tracks with the autism and the weird
utopianism.
Yeah,
and the utopianism. My ideology is only good and never bad. Chicken fingers taste good, therefore they're never bad.
Yeah, it's very comical. It's very
now.
Like, a part of being an adult is like having Oreos for dinner, maybe 2 nights a week, and you were like, oh my god, like I can never do that again.
Yeah,
I need to fucking grow up, and it's like, and there's different degrees. Like some bros like to horse a little more than others, and I'm like on the far end of that spectrum where I'm like very, I'm not a big Vice guy. I don't like having, like, dude, 3 beers once a season for me is like, that's good for me,
Wow.
And it's like, I know I'm very gay.
No, I wasn't going to say it, but
yeah, but that's just who I've turned into,
and you think you could fix the world, sir.
Exactly. That's why I don't. That's part of why.
That's how I was to say. I don't think you gained any voters.
Yeah,
exactly.
First rule: upper cap. We have an upper beer cap.
Yeah,
that's the first
3
rule.
beers per season. You could have them all in one day.
Yeah,
do that. Be crazy.
Do that in Jordan Peterson's voice.
You could have them all in one day. You could have 3 beers.
I
guess like right now we're dealing with like taste. People who have. And I think people have poor taste. I think we're in an era of very bad taste. You can look at the art that's created. But I think right now we are looking at people who value everything on taste, where it's like, this tastes good, it can't be bad. This tastes good. It can't be bad. And I'm not even really talking about food, although it works for food as well. Everybody's like, well, this tastes good. We have Dorito crumb fucking chicken tenders right now, and that's amazing. And they should be available to everybody. They should be free, actually. And then, but then, like, how dare Snap not cover that? Yeah. And then you have like people who are just like, well, this thing is great. I will never be at fault of it because I wanted to give somebody something for free. That tastes good, knowing that you did that, right? You gave something to someone for free with government money that wasn't yours. That's got to taste good, right? Like if you grew up kind of being told that you're supposed to save the world as God's smartest soldier, or not even God's science's smartest soldier. And
that's the thing is like how like the religious fervor that they have for ostensibly non-religious people.
With no afterlife promised, by the way.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
Like, aren't you supposed to be like chiller than the Southern Baptist, like Westboro Baptists? Like I thought
the Voltaire quote. The Voltaire quote's pretty damn good, dude. It's in the absence of God, they will always create one. I mean, it's like, and it's never going to be the right one. It's never going to be it's never going to be the one like instead of the Pascal's wager thing. I'm more so like, think about it from this way. Like every God you've seen created, whether that feels more real to you or not, or tangible or anything, it sucks.
Yeah.
So instead of Pascal's wager, like God might be real. God might be real. So I'm dying. Then I'm not hating on Scott Adams or anything. This is just, I know this has been a big debate with a lot of people. I'm more so like, hey, look at everybody else's imitation of God. It sucks. There's obviously something there. People are obviously trying to create something in that because it's instilled, because we are God's children. It's instilled in our head to accept the one that we know for many, many years to be there. But instead, people get on their roller coaster tycoon and go, I constructed the perfect God. And you look at all these apartments. I am God, to a lot of these people. But unlike God, unlike Jesus, who
can we do? Sorry, I did the roller coaster tycoon. Can we do SimCity instead? SimCity is way more what you're talking about. Roller coaster. No. I'm going to defend roller coaster.
I see. I've offended the right people.
SimCity. It's SimCity, not RCT. Yeah.
Here's roller
coaster. First roller coaster.
No, that's Roller Coaster Tycoon's all a game though. Like Sin City is a game, but like you're like, look at my city and all that stuff. Like, and you're probably going to create something kind of tight in Sim City. Probably like Roller Coaster Tycoon. His life is just.
You're a Sim City guy now. Is that what I
never played? I don't play these fucking games. I told you I'm the least autistic guy of all time. I don't play these games. I know what they are.
Truth comes out.
I don't play that shit, dude.
At least I'm going to build something kind of tight. Glenn Rockney quote.
Better than Roller Coaster Tycoon. Life's just a game, dude. Yeah. Fucking roller coaster. Just park. Yeah. Oh, you don't like somebody died there? Doesn't matter. I'm gonna take this thing out. That's what that is fun. I mean, I got these four ladders. So first off, I was right. Thank you. Yeah. Anyways, back to Jesus and God. Back to more pressing matters. You have the like God and Jesus were able to do the ultimate sacrifice if you believe in Christian religion, a sacrifice none of us could ever make now, but you're ascribing mortal humans that capability of God to be the person that gives you everything you need, but they will never make that sacrifice.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the issue there. So if you're always like there's a lot of people that go, well, like that's just a cope, like God, that's a cope to get you to suffer on earth and never want more materially. Okay, whatever. Here's the thing. You're just going to have people who will never take blame for anything if shit goes wrong, if crime runs rampant, like it often does when you have overly dense populations and in big city environments. If crime goes rampant, it's not going to be their fault ever because they've built this ultimate blob of bureaucracy and no one will ever, and it's never going to come down to just one person. So just my take on that.
Yeah, true.
So anyways, if you're playing SimCity right now, keep playing. I don't care. If you're playing Roller Coaster Tycoon, stop.
What's great? I hesitate to even admit this. We have Roller Coaster Tycoon on our family iPad. Interesting. Yeah. I haven't played it. I haven't played it in like well over
of course
years.
No,
years
of
for
course
sure.
not.
Yeah. But the
iPad, huh?
I'm defending. The iPad.
Weren't we just talking about iPad?
Yeah.
About how
it's a double dose, dude. It's a double dose for sure.
That's interesting.
I only play it when I have 3 beers. No,
Yeah,
less.
once a season. Yeah,
Yeah,
once a
exactly.
season. That's the
Yeah.
the law of the land, the
Yeah,
utopian
exactly.
land. So,
yeah.
well, guys, another RC classic, of course. Coming up this week, we have Camp of the Saints episode. That was fun. It was fun talking about that book
How
with the
was
boys.
that?
Very, very fun. It was a
Yeah.
good chat. It was a
What's
really,
the main
really,
takeaway? Did you have any
I'm
common?
not gonna spoil it. I'm not gonna spoil it. It's
I wanna let-
paywall
yeah.
episode. Yeah, you have access to it. It's on StreamYard right now.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
can
yeah.
throw that
That's
shit
good.
on. No, it's great. But you can, even before it comes out, you can listen to it. But no,
Maybe.
it's
I'll spoil
no,
it.
it's definitely it's the taboo book that nobody wants you to read, and it's I also don't think a lot of people actually do read it beyond the first 20 pages. That's my take, because everybody always talks about the first 20 pages of it, which are fantastic. So the it's a very long, sprawling, dense book. So it's there's a lot happening, a lot of which I don't really understand plot wise of what was happening, but it was still a very fun talk with some of our guys, and we've got a lot coming up here. My roses have little buds on them right now. My pruned roses.
They're coming. It's
They're
time.
little red buds on
Here
there.
comes the
My
sun.
maple
George
tree.
Harrison playing. Yeah.
Exactly.
Little
Teletubby
darling,
baby, the
I
little
feel
Teletubby
that
babies.
eyes. Yeah.
The Teletubby babies smiling in the sky right now.
Yep.
And then there's my maple tree in the backyard. I have not to brag, but I have a maple tree in the backyard that's got buds on it and everything. All I'm saying is one straw revolution, one plant revolution. That's gotta happen. It's gonna have to happen, because I'm like hands kneading soil right now, because I don't want to pay attention to the current thing.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. I feel any vaguely Asian book on psyops, it has to be you, me, and Agitator. It just has to, just for a multitude of reasons.
And Yoko Ono and Mei Ping.
Mei Ping, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just
My
cold,
Ping, whatever.
Cold and windy as shit up here. So I bet it's still gonna snow in like February. So I don't think. I think
we don't have anything.
Yeah,
it's all sunny. It's all sunny.
You guys got the harsh, quick winter there. Yeah.
I hope we get more. I don't really want 50 and sunny right now. It's not exactly. I'd like to snow a little bit more. I mean, granted, the garden is looking already in great thing, but I'd like a little more moisture.
Yeah.
I'd like to not use the irrigation system. I'd rather do that, because you got to turn those off out here. I don't know if you guys have to do that
because of the ice.
Yeah, because of ice. Because of the immigration.
Yeah, exactly.
I found out the guy. Yeah. I found out they found out. Yeah, so it's because it freezes and then the fucking things explode. I guess. I didn't know that. This is all a California guy had to do. I did it because I had people who lived here already. They're like, make sure you turn the sprinklers off and everything. Irrigation off. So you have to do that. It's pretty crazy. So we got to do that. Like I said, we also have the sponsored episode platform, guys. Just check that out. That's available at rcnow.org on there. If you want album, movie, that's $100, dude. 100 album, movie, and we'll work with you. You know what I'm saying? We'll work with you on anything. Easy stuff on there. So the tiers are on there. Very fun. So far we had Metallica, The Godfather. Those were all very fun. So if you want to torture us, you can, I guess. I mean, I maybe, it's like you could it's the foie gras tier. Maybe I'll put that in there. It tastes good because the duck is not happy.
Yeah.
So, maybe that's your method. Maybe you want to go the foie gras method with RC. I would prefer if we were free range cattle that, we still die, I guess. But it's I would prefer that. But on that note, guys, everybody have a safe week and catch you guys next time.
Peace.